So to kickstart this session, inshallah, we're going to do a little bit of activity. We're going to break up into groups of 10. We're going to do a little bit of a role-playing session. And we're going to break up into groups of 10, and then I'm going to give you a scenario for you to act out within your group. No one's going to come on stage and perform, I promise. But I am going to ask afterwards for people's reactions. And what you're going to do is that you're going to break up and have one person in the group kind of be the target, if you will. And then you'll have the other members of the group be trying to get the person to be involved in this scenario. And then afterwards, I'll get your reactions. Before we break up into groups, just one thing I'd like to note. Having been involved in MSA and been involved in a lot of these different conferences, I went to a conference about 8 years ago, the MSA East Zone conference, and the sister who was sitting in front of me, before the session started, she turned around and said, "Assalamu alaikum, my name's Yasmin," and she shook my hand. And we got to talking, and 8 years later, she's one of my closest friends. And as we've both gone on to work for the government and get involved in different things, she's been a really great friend and ally. So I really encourage you all to get to know your peers and get to know other people around the room, inshallah, throughout the rest of the day. So go ahead and break up into groups of 10. When you're done, send someone up here, and I'll give you the scenario so you can act it out. And you'll have 2 minutes to act out each scenario, inshallah. You've got 30 seconds to get in your group. Go. All right, bismillah. Let's all come together. So let's just start the discussion. So what were some of the tactics or tricks other people used to try to get you to go to prom or go to the party? Yeah, go ahead. Speak really loud. Everyone was there. So it's telling you that everyone else is going to be there. You don't want to feel left out. You don't want to be rejected. What else? What were some other tactics? In the back, really loud. You can go there to make sure everyone prays, or flirt to convert, as I've also heard it, described. Yeah, over here. You only live once. Yes, I think I've heard that before. What else? What else? Everyone, come on, let's have one discussion. You don't have to drink. You can go there and be completely halal, right? Next to the dance floor, yeah. It's not haram, so making a religious argument that it's totally fine for you to go and hang out and have a date and all that. What else? Any other tactics? Just say bismillah and go. I like that. Sorry? Ostracism. So if you don't go, you're going to be left out, you're going to be rejected, you should totally come. Anything else? Mashallah, you're very active. Nobody's going to like you if you don't go, yep. Okay, go to the next one. So here are some of the tricks that many of you have probably faced when dealing with negative peer pressure before, right? Rejection, and this is spoken. These are things that people will say or be explicit about. So your friends won't like you anymore. People are going to threaten to leave someone out or end a friendship. This is make or break for us. Next slide. Put down, insulting you, calling you names. I mean, what are you, from a foreign country, right? Like, degrading you if you decide not to go to the event. Reasoning. It's not haram. It's not halal. It's not haram, right? Give a reason to do something why it would be okay to do it. You can go and don't have to do anything haram, right? You can pray next to the dance floor. You can pray in the corner. It's totally fine, right? So that's spoken peer pressure. And a lot of what we focused on today was the words that people say or the actions that they take. But a lot of peer pressure is actually unspoken. It's things that either people do without words, it's nonverbal communication, or it's stuff that you think they're doing to you. So, for example, there was a recent study in 2009 about youth and drinking. And one of the things they found is that peer pressure was both a very positive and negative effect in that situation. In a negative sense, people thought that their peers were drinking a lot. So they felt like they had to drink a lot just to keep up. So that's why a lot of youth would go on binge drinking, when in reality, a lot of youth weren't drinking as much as they thought they were, but they felt this internal pressure on themselves to keep up with their perception of their peers. And similarly, they also found when peers encourage each other not to drink, that was much more influential than any parental talk or ad campaign or anything like that, when they heard from their friends that this was something that they didn't have to do or shouldn't do. So unspoken pressure, the huddle. Everyone stands together, you're outside, you see everyone's back, they're looking at something, ha, they're laughing, where you can't see them. So that's one kind. Next slide, please. The look. As someone who grew up in public school wearing hijab, I know this one very well. The people who think they're cool or make you live out, they give you that look, right? What's going on over there? Next slide. The example, right? So-and-so is going, I heard over there, Jamal's gonna be there. I heard that example over there as well. So everyone's gonna do it. Here's an example. This is why it's totally fine. So that's another form of peer pressure.